A very short starting soon screen. I wanted to start the game as soon as possible since I was late starting anyways. Yeah, so I've been waiting for been waiting for a Samurai Warriors guidebook to be uploaded to Internet Archive. So, and uploading things there takes fucking forever, so despite it only being about 1.4 gigabytes, it took like 2 hours. So, but I have been grinding the game a little bit in the time before starting stream. So I have already made a little bit of progress with William. Not a ton, but enough to be a bit ahead of where we were, because where we were was basically starting at 0. As of now, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters at max and a few more near max regard. Beforehand, before I started grinding like an hour ago, he was at rank 1 for every single character. However, he's actually not as slow as I had expected him to be, and the reason why I will show when we get into the battle. But yeah, William is not actually as slow as I had expected to grind, despite starting at rank 1. And the reason why is because he has it all comes down to his special attack. For every character, I have an extra ability equipped to their hero card that makes it so that when they use their special attack, it slightly charges the hero skill cooldowns, decreasing those. And for most characters, that's very good, but it's not quite like, it's not as good as you would think, especially combined with Honeka's scissor resets, because of the fact that they're instant, and the skill cooldowns are the special attack hero skill cooldowns are not full. They only partially refill, so not quite as efficient as you would think for most characters. The thing with William though is he's the only character in the game whose special attack is not just one singular large attack, but rather it augments his weapon to kind of have like a 2D Zelda effect, where when you're at max health in those games, your sword shoots a beam. I'll show it off in just a second as soon as I max out my special attack meter. But the important part about it is that while it does do this part of augmenting your weapon, you're still technically in the special attack stage, and because of that, it kind of has a second activation after a few seconds. So for every skill usage, every special attack usage that William does, he effectively gets 2 usages, because this right here, this you don't activate manually. The second major big attack just happens like 10 seconds after doing the first activation, but both of them technically count in the game, in the game's logic, as a special attack use, and therefore any kind of like, I'm trying to think of what they're called exactly. Gonna look at any kind of card effects. Card effects is what they're called. Any card effects that you have equipped to your hero card that revolves around special attacks activates twice for his special attacks. Once at the initial activation, and then a second time at the later automatic activation. So he basically gets a full hero skill reset for each special attack he uses, since the first one resets it halfway and the second one resets it the rest of the way. On top of that, his hero skill, or not hero skill, fucking, you would think I would more consistently remember which off the top of my head after playing this game so much. But as you can see, I'm using his special attack very frequently, and that is because his special attack has a really small charge requirement, so you can use it fucking constantly. And the initial activation has a very short animation associated with it. And all of this combines to mean that he can use his special attack and thus get off any card effects that relate to special attacks more frequently than any other character by a wide margin. Probably around triple as frequently as other characters when taking into account the second activation and the quick recharge. And that means that honestly, it may not even be necessary to bring along Honoka or her resets in with William. I'm still doing it just because of that kind of extra safety for cases like right now, where they're not fully activated even after both uses, just because of the way things line up sometimes. So I am still bringing her along, but it really may not even be necessary because of how many hero skill usages William can get off just normally, thanks to his special attacks. It's kind of all combines to make William one of my favorite characters to play, especially when going for 100% like this. And the reason why, alongside all of this special attack nonsense, is that his normal playstyle is just really fun in my opinion. It's very simple, very basic, just a normal sword user, and he's decently slow normally as well, which I normally wouldn't enjoy, but he's not actually slow. He's slow at face value, but he has a special gimmick with his kit. See, if you use a strong attack, there will be a glow. If you notice that, this is sort of something from his original game, Nioh. I forget what exactly it's called, that kind of field that appears around him at the end of his strong attacks. Does have a specific name for it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But basically what it is in this game, it works differently in Nioh, but in this game, if you time your next strong attack button press well enough after, as soon as you get the field pop up, then your next attack chain doubles in speed. It goes from being very slow to incredibly fast, and if you get really good at timing all of that, then you can very easily make him one of the fastest characters in the game that also requires an actual skill level. It's a double kind of double feature of not only is he very efficient if you play him at max efficiency, very good for running through every stage as quickly as possible, but on top of that, if you're someone like me who enjoys requiring actual skill to play her characters, he is also one of the most fun to play. He is one of the best designed characters in this game, I would say, and it largely just comes down to how his extra field works. That timing mechanic is really good in a game like this that is otherwise very simple in its core combat. Really quickly, gotta not change something in OBS, but bring it up on my second monitor. Okay. Actually, I do have to change one thing. I don't know why. Got messed up. This is the only thing on my end, so even though it is something I'm changing in OBS, none of you will see it, but it is a minor annoyance for me. Okay, now the stream can start for real. For realsies. Yeah, we are back to just doing the normal regard grind, which just requires going to randomized stages over and over on a repeat. This all does kind of result in William being one of the most tedious characters to play, because not only do you have to do the normal face button presses to activate all of your hero skills every couple of seconds, but on top of that you also have to, when you're not doing that, press your special attack button on rotation even more so than with other characters. So it does get a bit dull to play if you're just doing that on repeat, but I think the rest of his kit is fun enough that it kind of makes up for it. On top of that, while you are using his resets constantly, it's not a non-stop case. Like, you're not gonna have to do it 20 times in a row every 10 seconds of gameplay. It's not quite as frequent as Honoka's, just because of the fact that his special skill does have a bit more downtime. Not an instant reset like the scissor resets are. So you do get a bit of extra downtime for your for normal combat in between everything, just enough to where he's not as bad as he would otherwise be. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're wondering why I occasionally just slash into the middle of the air without actually hitting anything, it is for that field reset. Since if you get interrupted in the middle of an attack chain by any enemies, or even sometimes by a few other things, you will lose that speed up buff. It only lasts for one attack chain, even if that attack chain doesn't fully finish. As long as you start an attack chain, it counts that as the point to reset it. Do not love doing this type of mission on the stage. It's a very long run to the bottom. You do at least occasionally get movement speed increases just at random throughout the stage, but still doesn't quite mitigate enough how large these stages are. And considering how little there is to actually do in them aside from the main objective, it just feels a bit unnecessary. That's the case for a lot of stages in Warriors All-Stars, unfortunately. Two, three, four, five. Yeah, even after, another thing by the way, is that even after you have activated your special attack, if you recharge it in between the first and second activation of it, you can use your special attack again. There's no extra practical combat applications to that as far as I'm aware. It doesn't like further increase your damage or anything. But it is very, very useful in my specific case because it means an extra skill activation. Because if you don't do that, if you do recharge it before the second activation, and you let the second activation happen on its own, it will use up your entire special attack meter. So you do want to use it a second time, or even a third if you recharge it multiple times in between the starting and ending attacks. Which the window between the first and second activation is short enough that that won't happen constantly, but it does happen just enough to occasionally be of note. Getting a lot of scissor resets this run. Getting very good luck with that today, which is nice, of course. See, you can use it a second time before the second activation, and it just basically resets the timer for it. But it does, of course, count as another hero special attack use. I mean, I was about to say hero skill yet again. So it is useful for getting hero skill resets faster. He's probably one of the most like nuanced character in his playstyle in the entire roster. At face value, he is just another normal sword user, but if you use him enough to get the feel of his full kit and kind of get an idea of the specifics of it, all of the nuances, he actually has quite a lot of depth, surprisingly. He's a good character. Had to hydrate really quickly. Probably won't be a super long stream, by the way. I did start quite a bit late, nearly a full hour past, actually, full hour past where I usually start stream, so probably be a relatively short one. But we've already made enough progress on William that most likely he will turn into a 2-stream character. And that will be good, because of the entire roster, of all 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, all 29 characters, which, yeah, of all 29, I was about to say, am I missing someone? But no, the person I'm missing is Nioh, is William himself. Of all other 29 characters, excluding 4 that aren't real and don't have friendship events, of the 25 total characters we have to max, we've already gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Already 8 out of 25, so made quite a lot of progress. Most of that was pre-stream, of course, but still, the point is that he goes by quite quickly thanks to his extra resets that he gets even more than everyone else.
You get no quarter from me. No hard feelings.
Still have absolutely no clue what triggers the shortened animation for the hero skills. And also special attacks. They're not really shortened animations, I guess, just animations that don't camera lock you. I'm still not quite sure what triggers that. Most of the time it does put you into a specific camera spot that locks you in place for a bit, but every once in a while it doesn't, and I'm still, after 150 hours of playing, still have absolutely no clue what the difference is between them. Why sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Prepare to die. Swear I've heard that like 100 fucking times in the last 20 minutes. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love getting fucking like 5 uses of a special attack out in a row. One of very few characters where I actively do want to use his as much as possible. Just because his attack animation is not very long, especially for the first activation. It's like 1.5 seconds, as opposed to most other characters that have like a fucking 7 or 8 second long attack animation for their special attack. Maybe not quite that long, but you know, longer than a normal attack chain, but Williams isn't, so. His second activation after the first one is a little bit longer than his first special attack, but not by too much, not to any degree that makes it absolutely obnoxious to do. 4, 5. So close to being maxed with Iona.
Okay.
I would love to get her out of the way since her attack animation for her hero skills are long enough that they never really line up too well with Honoka's scissor resets when those happen, so I always love getting her out of the way as quickly as possible. That way I don't have to worry about it too much later down the line.
Place in my life.
今回も一緒で嬉しいよ。君と過ごす時間、結構好きなんだ。やはり私でなくても開始ね。力をお見せしましょう。仕事の時間。
I feel like his special attacks also seem to have way more commonly hit the smaller, the non-camera locked animation as well. And I'm not sure if that's just like me feeling like it does without it actually. Maybe it's just because I use his special attack more frequently than with other characters, but it really does feel like probably 50% of the time he gets the shorter, the non-camera locked animation, whereas with most other characters, that's a pretty rare occurrence. Yeah, like see here. It keeps happening, and I'm not going to complain. It's very good when it does happen, because it means that I can do other things while the attack animation is going on, namely activating hero skills like right now. But it feels like it happens really often with him, but not nearly as much with other characters. I'm not sure why exactly that is.
No hard feelings.
I really should be going toward the objective bases instead of detouring over here, but I'm sure they'll be fine, hopefully. Maybe. As long as I don't get a notification at the top saying that the designated base is in danger, as long as that doesn't happen, should be relatively fine, I suppose. Five. This should bring two of them up to max regard after this fight. Hopefully. At the very least, Ilaiya is gonna be max for sure. There's no way she wouldn't be. She was like fucking a few pixels away from being done. But hopefully, at least one other character is as well. Okay, yeah. Both Ilaiya and Pakta are now maxed. Oh yeah. Two more down. That totals to, I believe, 10 now are maxed. So we're nearly halfway there already. And I've only been playing as William for maybe an hour and a half total. Because the 30 minutes of this stream and then the hour or so I did prior. Not getting many friendship events with him right now. I was getting quite a few earlier in the day when I was doing it off stream, but so far, not many. I don't think we've gotten a single friendship event since starting the stream. Which is a bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We did get a hot spring event though, so at least I believe that's one. Usually when it does a transition into a different camera angle before leaving, that usually means that it's a hot spring event. Even though he was alone there, so I don't know exactly. But I'm gonna make the optimistic assumption that it is one. So that's one more of those, even if we haven't gotten any friendship ones.
I promise I'll help you. Just hang on a little longer.
I love chaining several hero skills into scissor resets, back into William's special skill resets, back into more scissor attack resets. It's really satisfying to do, especially if you include the orb resets as well. This game really does. Once you've learned the most efficient way to go about this, the game does have a ton of ways to constantly reset hero skills. Obviously, it requires playing at max efficiency to get those frequent hero skill reset chains, which I am absolutely not doing, but it is still enough to get them every once in a while, just like right now.
なぜそこまで戦うの？誰を倒すの？制裁の時は今あなたが
Perfect chain. Special attack use into hero skill reset, into scissor, into the orb item reset. A perfect hero skill reset chain.
いい流れね。望まれたから終わりだね。
雲行きが怪しいぜ。
Okay, I do need to quickly go ahead and run to Zhou. Luckily, I was close enough to him anyways, but that is the one problem with getting tons of hero skill resets, because it will delay your arrival at the mission areas, and that's usually not too much of an issue, but occasionally, in the case of ally rescue missions specifically, can be a bit of a problem sometimes.
悪くない働きだ。よろしくない状況。どう持っていこうか。
Just like right now.
誰を倒すの？手を貸してあげる。
まだ獲物は残ってんだろうな。
不安なくてごめんなさい。言い訳はしないから。誰を倒すの？制裁の時は。
Yeah, another thing that also really helps is that even though you generally do still want Honoka to use scissors, if she uses rock, it resets your special attack. And so it still has some extra use, even if you don't get the scissor reset. The paper reset is still mostly reset. Saying the same words over and over fucking just trips me up so hard. But getting the paper in her skill just resets your health. That's not too useful for my situation, but it does mean that for William especially, but really for anyone, if you are actually maximizing your special attack uses, using her hero skill, Honoka's, and not getting scissor is still occasionally somewhat useful and can get you closer toward getting another reset. Maybe not an instant reset, but it's still a nice consolation. Getting paper though is still pretty much useless in 90% of cases, unless for whatever reason, even while regard grinding, somehow you end up with low health. Very unlikely to happen, but not impossible, I suppose. Oh my god, I don't think I have ever seen that happen. Fucking. Okay, I don't know why. It didn't increase it nearly as much for the other characters, but fucking Ogrena went from rank 1 to rank 4 immediately. I don't know why exactly that happened so quickly, but kind of fucking crazy how fast that went. You know what, actually? Maybe I do have an idea. Maybe because... Okay, so you do have to rank up regard for each individual character both ways. If you get to max rank with one character, it does not get it for the other one. So for example, I have Honoka with at rank 5 confidants with William. That does not mean, if I go over to Honoka, that does not mean that William is rank 5. He is rank 1 for her. However, maybe, and I haven't noticed this too much before now, but that also may be because I'm in the earlier stages of the character sets, but it's possible that maybe maxing them out with one character doesn't max out with the other associated character, but it may increase the rate at which they increase friendship. That would make sense. It would be a bit surprising considering this game, but it would logically make sense. And I do, with Ogrena, I did already max her out with everyone, including William, so that would line up. I'd have to do a bit more experimenting to know for certain. But you know what? Let's start. You're not rank 1, but you're rank 2. You know what? You're the best option I have. Hajime is at rank 2 with William, not rank 1, but still should be low enough to check. I have him maxed out with rank 5 confidant on everyone, including William, so if this is the case, and characters you already have maxed one way go way faster the other way afterwards, this would be a very good opportunity to check. Because that is really my only guess for why Ogrena went up so quickly. Because going from rank 1 to rank 4 instantly after one battle it basically never happens normally. So if it does actually have a specific cause and it's not just kind of a random chance situation, it would be very nice to know. It would make a lot of the later characters go by a lot faster. It could also just be because of how many hero skill usages I got off, because I did get a ton off thanks to William's special attacks, but at the same time, Nioh didn't get nearly as much of a boost, and I don't have her maxed out on her way, so I'm thinking it would be that. Well, I'll have to double check. I'll have to see. But it does seem to be the most likely outcome. Okay, I probably should actually just go directly toward the objectives. I don't wanna I don't wanna waste too much time. Well, I don't think I will fail the mission. It is not impossible to. I am at least going to get this one that's quite far out of the way. We'll kill them before doing more hero skill grinding. I love the caption so much. Why the fuck did it think I said my daughter and dad? What does that mean? How did it get that? I know I don't enunciate my words quite nearly enough, but don't know how the fuck it got that out of anything I said. They're still useful to have just to kind of get an idea of what's being said for people who can't hear. I won't turn them off, but it is very funny seeing how they are borderline fucking completely useless because of how inaccurate they are. Not the best captions in the world. But what can you expect? They're automatically detected, so it's not like it's not like I was expecting the highest quality behind them, but it is very entertaining to occasionally look over at what exactly they think I'm saying, and it just be completely nonsense. Funny at least. Also, only just now noticing that his hit for his aerial attack, let me bring the field up, has a really wide range, and I think that range maybe gets wider when his field is up, which would make sense, but it is an interesting little extra augmentation with it. Yeah, you really do have a ton of backups in case a Honoka scissor reset doesn't happen, in case an orb doesn't spawn after capturing a base. With this specific setup with William, really with any character to a degree as long as you're constantly using your special attacks, but especially with William because he can use his so frequently, you really do have a ton of backup options for getting frequent hero skill resets. They realistically should have like an 80% uptime. Like almost all of the time they should be available. If you are doing this setup that I've been using with William. Like I said, it is still absolutely equally possible with anyone else, but it's even more so with William because of his very short duration special attacks. Also, Hajime did get a lot of experience there, but not quite as much as Ogrena last time. I'm thinking there is kind of a bit of randomization with how exactly much you get after each battle, but it does seem to have at least a slight effect, because he did get a full rank and a half from that, whereas Melania only got about a full rank, but it was still less, so not completely out the window the possibility of the one-way max regard assisting the other direction, but not guaranteed quite yet. Not 100% certain so far.
いや
おや望まれたか戦争の時に
You get no quarter from me お前とならやりやすい今回も頼むぞ今日はこれくらいにしといてやる 援軍として参りました
戦争の時に望まれたか あなたが呼ぶなら
気を引き締めていくぞ
Yeah, you do get into a pretty constant rotation of hero skills and special attacks with this setup, which is a little bit annoying to do, especially in stages that have like ally rescue missions, basically anything that's actually timed. Luckily this specific stage is not really timed. There is a timer on the right, but the outcome is exactly the same, whether that timer runs out or you complete the objective in time. You don't fail this from losing the timer, so these are fake time stages.
助立ちとして参上した。
Dun, 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 dun. What the fuck does that mean? What are the captions? Amazing. Since there's not really a ton else to talk about in the game itself now, just getting into the normal rotation now, might as well talk about what I was doing before stream. Well, I already said that I did grind this a little bit, just to get William started while waiting, but I was specifically waiting for something to finish uploading to Internet Archive. Specifically what I was uploading this time is a Samurai Warriors Chronicles official guidebook that had not been archived before. Not the highest scan quality, admittedly. I did rush it a bit, but it is absolutely readable, and that's all I need. Which Samurai Warriors Chronicles is the 3DS game. I don't know if it was quite a launch title. It may have been a launch title in America, but I think in Japan it was like launch window. I think it came out like a month after release of the 3DS. But yeah, that one has an official guidebook that was Japanese that I don't think it ever got one in English officially, but it does have a Japan one, and yeah, that was the thing that I was uploading that required the stream to be delayed quite a bit. But it'll be worth it once the time comes where we get around to that game, Samurai Warriors Chronicles, and then I will probably end up actually using that guidebook quite a bit for that playthrough. As with most of the guidebooks I've uploaded for future titles. Unfortunately, there are not usually a ton of English guides and resources for most musous online. So genuinely, especially for stuff like maps, if you need anything like maps, usually the official Japanese guides are your best option, unfortunately. Most of them aren't archived online. I've been trying to change that, to upload the ones that I've gotten, but they are very useful. So I will most likely end up using it once we do eventually get around to Samurai Warriors Chronicles in like however long that'll take. I do want to play that game sooner rather than later because it does have a series of 3. There are 3 Chronicles games, so I do want to do one relatively soon-ish. When I say relatively soonish though, I mean like probably still quite a ways away, but not like 2 or 3 years away. I do want to play Samurai Warriors 2 first, since a lot of mechanics and characters introduced in Samurai Warriors 2 are in Chronicles. A lot of characters from Samurai Warriors 3 are also in Chronicles, but that's especially the case for 2. I think almost every character introduced in 2 is in Chronicles, whereas I think a few introduced in 3 don't come back in Chronicles, as well as mechanically I've heard it's a bit closer to 2 than 3. So, not worrying too much about getting Samurai Warriors 3 done before Chronicles, but at the bare minimum, I do want to get 2 out of the way. See, how many left? Okay, so currently we have 2 that are near max. I'm just gonna count those in max. They'll probably be full after this battle. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just 11 more. 11 more after this battle. So we are already past the halfway point in about 2 full hours of grinding. This is going by significantly faster than I had expected it to. This is probably the fastest character that I've gotten maxed out from scratch of the roster so far that I've completed. And it's going way faster than anyone I expected to be finished starting from practically zero. Because like I said, before starting the grind this morning, he had rank 1 with almost everyone. Fuck it, I'll activate the Musou Rush. Just so I can get around here slightly. Well, not faster, but once I get done with walking around, I'll get an immediate hero skill reset for free, so might as well use it now. No reason not to. Bye. Yeah, as I mentioned before, if you saw right before that activation occurred, I did have a maxed out skill meter, or special attack meter, I mean. But because I didn't manually use it before the second activation occurred, it used up the bar, even though the second activation will happen no matter what, whether you have special attack meter or not. Just a little side effect. If it activates before you use it, assuming you've maxed out the special attack meter a second time. Okay, I do need to actually run toward her now. I wasted too much time getting resets off. Four, five. Five. Map is so hard to navigate. I always forget the exact route you have to take in order to get to the bottom left portion. There are so many one-way areas. Even after going through it probably hundreds of times at this point, I still get mixed up on the exact spot I have to go through.
I won't lose.
I did it. I'm winner. And 2 of them got maxed out. 2 more got to acquaintance. Making very good progress.
Okay.
私は戦う。難しい。いつあなた。
Oh, another hot spring event. At least I assume it's one. Can't entirely tell because he was alone there, but at the same time, it did still do the hot spring event camera transition. So hopefully it was. I am going to very quickly. Actually, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay. It's 11. I am going to very quickly take a break for probably like 5 or 6 minutes. I know the stream hasn't been going for too long yet. Not ending it, not at all. Still got a decent amount to go, but I am going to take a very quick BRB just to go refill my water and stuff because I did not end up doing that right before the stream started. So, BRB, just a couple minutes. I'm back. Hello. Hi everyone. I got water. I hydrated properly and now I can get back to the grind. We're already surprisingly past the halfway point of William, so the rest of this will hopefully go quite fast as well. It's a very tedious rotation to repeat constantly, but it does work very clearly. If it didn't, then we wouldn't be getting so close so soon to being done with him. Gotta love the arrow rain. My favorite mechanic.
今回も一緒で嬉しいよ。君と過ごす時間結構好きなんだ。
Five. 1, 2, 5. Ba, ba, ba. I should probably go for the other enemy now. As I've said several times before, it's not really necessary to take these out under the time limit. It doesn't end the mission if you fail it. Same thing as normal happens, but I do still like going for it just cause, you know, might as well go for the objective. Pointless or not, it being there does kind of add a little bit of something that's required to do, which is something that this game normally severely lacks. Bum, bum.
これよりは俺も戦います。
4, 5. 2.
なんて強さ。お見事です。戦わなくちゃ。
Ba, ba, ba.
I never imagined I'd be a dynasty warrior.
Five. Five. Any orbs around here? Nope. Bum, bum, bum.
No hard feelings.
Stu walked directly into it. Wasn't even trying to hit them with that. Four. Okay. That should bring us up quite a bit on all three of the characters we have. Maybe not quite to max, but should be fairly close. Okay, yeah. Brought up Kasumi up to rank 4, Murray Rose up to 3, and now Tora up to 2. So, pretty good, I would say. We're pretty consistently getting at least one full rank with every character per run at this point, which is great. It's a lot faster that way.
私。 ウィリアム。
Oh, another hot spring event. Let's go. Hell yeah. We're making a lot better progress on these than we are with the friendship events for William. Which is fine, I suppose. Those do require slightly more going out of the way than the friendship events do, so I guess it's better to get those out of the way. if I had to choose between one or the other. Preferably, I'd love to get both done at once though.
I promise I'll help you. Just hang on a little longer. 俺に勝てると思ってんのか。やするぜ。じゃ、ついた。 気心知れた仲間がいると心強い。さあ、行くぞ。次こそ勝ってみせるぞ。
Probably should have went for the one at the bottom right before the middle and left one, but works, I guess. Yeah, usually the one closest to your starting point is usually the weakest one, so that bottom right one would have probably been a lot better to go toward. But too late now. This is another stage that is not particularly fun to navigate. Unless you're playing as Ryu Hayabusa. As him, this stage is actually really fun to go through, and the only reason why is because of a glitch with his swallow dive. If you use it off of a ledge, you go at fucking Mach speeds across the entire map. It's completely ridiculous, it looks dumb as hell, there is no way it was intentional, but it's genuinely one of the best parts of his entire kit. It's fantastic. Yet again, an enemy just walks directly into the special attack activation. I do need to run over there as quickly as possible. Please don't give me scissors. Okay, good. If they had given me scissors, I would have felt tempted to use the full rotation again, but I really do need to run over there as quickly as possible. She very well could die before I get there, because it does take way too long to reach this area over here. The bottom right and bottom left corners of this map are way too much of a pain in the ass to reach normally. They require circling around so much of the surrounding areas that's just a nightmare to try getting to. And that can work in certain cases. Like, for example, if this game leaned more on the strategy elements, that actually would be like a thing that made sense. A level design choice that would make perfect sense and would in fact be pretty cool, but that would make for some nice strategic land usage. Unfortunately, this is a musou that does not go into the strategy direction at all, like not even slightly. This is fully in the hack and slash, baby. And it's not especially great at either, but nah, it's not terrible at hack and slash, I guess. Just, it is if you play it for more than like 5 hours though, but but yeah, a lot of the map designs in this game feel more like they were designed for a more strategy-oriented musou. But instead, this game is not at all strategy-oriented. It is one of the least strategic musous in the entire genre. So the level design being so large and filled with like confusing pathing just doesn't make as much sense in this type of game compared to a more strategy-oriented musou. Like if this type of level design was in like, say, Dynasty Warriors 2 or fucking, I don't know, I've heard Bladestorm is another really strategy-oriented musou, so like games like those, if it was in one of those, then I would probably praise it for being pretty great, because this is the type of level design that isn't inherently bad, it just doesn't work in this game's context. With a game like this that has such fast-paced objectives, and not just fast-paced, but also incredibly simple objectives, having maps like this that are so large and sprawling and kind of confusing to navigate just doesn't make sense and doesn't work at all. It feels very poor to go through pretty much every level in this entire game, except for the smallest of them. And the smallest ones are boring. They're usually just a few squares with capturable areas, and that's it. They're very dull. So you either have to deal with stages that aren't very interesting, or ones that just don't fit the game's playstyle at all, and thus become a massive pain in the ass to ever go on.
I promise I'll help you. Just hang on a little longer.
Central Keep already fell. It's been like a minute since entering the stage and it already fell that quickly. Now, like I said, it's not inherently a bad thing that these stages, everything in them happens so quickly. It's very fast paced. The problem is that the stage design doesn't match with that fast pace. These stages are designed more for a slower paced, more strategic type of musou, but instead, it has some of the simplest objectives imaginable, and some of the fastest gameplay pacing possible. Everything happens in an instant. In a lot of other musous, if you stood at the starting area and didn't do anything at all, and just let your allies do all of their shit, you would lose the stage, of course, but it would take like 10 to 15 minutes for you to fully lose because, you know, it's just a slower paced game. Things generally happen at a slower pace, and that's the case in most older musos and even a lot of newer musos. But this one's so fast paced that if you were to do that same thing, within 2 minutes you would lose the stage. Not because it's any more difficult, not at all. In fact, it's significantly easier, but because it's way faster paced. But that fast pace just doesn't line up with the stage design. Because, you know, it takes like 2 minutes to go from the beginning of a stage to death if you do nothing. But even if you are doing things in the larger stages, it takes nearly 2 minutes to go from one corner of the stage to the other. So, if you're not playing as fast as possible, it can be kind of dangerous in certain stages. By contrast, the smaller stages that feel like they were actually designed for this type of game are incredibly simple. It takes like 20 seconds to go from the bottom left corner to the top right corner, and that makes sense. This game is very fast paced. You want to go from area to area as quickly as possible. But in these larger stages, that's not the case. And it just doesn't work out at all. It feels terrible. Three, 4, 5. Dude. Probably use my special attack instead of doing normal combos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Three, 4, 5. 4, 5. 5. Kasumi maxed, and both Naotora and Marie are both very close to being rank 5, so... Nice, nice. Very good.
実力はよくわかっています。頼りにしていますよ。
Since this type of stage doesn't really have any risk of losing it, I generally do prefer just capturing a bunch of bases, getting as many hero skill uses as I can off, instead of just rushing toward the end at a certain point like I do with the ally rescue missions. I have no time limit, no way of failing aside from just dying myself, which will not happen. I can just go ballistic as much as I want. Five. I probably should have used Honika's skill before finishing that combo. Could have potentially gotten one more reset.
Okay.
Oh well. Yeah, we didn't get too much progress there toward any of them, but still going at a decent pace overall.
Hey, take it easy. Don't even dream of breaking through. I'll protect this place with my life.
また一緒に戦えるんですね。あなたがいると。
I kind of like how some characters in certain stage types will have certain lines, like that line William said about like don't even think about breaking through. I believe he only says that in this specific type of stage, the defending the bases ones. But most characters don't have a special line for most stage types. In fact, I can't even off the top of my head think of who else even does. I'm sure at least one other character does for at least one other stage type. But I can't think of anyone else who has a special piece of dialogue for like going into a specific stage type. At least for the base protection one. Like, there probably are at least a few more. I doubt it's just a one-off thing that only William has for this one stage type. But it's infrequent enough and not consistent for all characters that I kind of just didn't even notice it until just now. But I'm pretty sure he does only say that line at the beginning of this specific stage type, the defense ones. It's very odd. Definitely should not be attacking you. Didn't even notice that I was only at Bravery rank 3. Would not have been good to have gone after that golden captain. Okay, yeah. I do need to run directly to the base now, since it's in danger. Can still do a little bit of a detour just for these, but I shouldn't go out of my way to capture any more bases. Just the hero skill uses. Those take luckily short enough time that I shouldn't have to worry too much about the base, but I shouldn't go for any extra captures of other bases that aren't relevant. It's forgiving, but it's not infinitely forgiving on how much time you have before the enemies capture your bases. If you look at it, it says there are 25 troops left before it gets captured. So, had I waited probably 30, maybe 30 more seconds to 1 more minute, I probably would have lost, but still generous enough to where you absolutely can take many detours and still be fine. And that means Maria is now maxed. Very good. To rotate saves back again.
If you priest said I'll help you. Just hang on a little longer.
Prepare to die. Gonna go fucking insane from how often I hear that. Of course, this is yet another map that is very large and requires nearly probably around, not quite a full minute, but probably around like 40 seconds to go from the bottom of the map to the top. Should probably count it at some point to know exactly how long it actually takes, but point is it takes a while. Not exactly a short journey from the bottom to the top of these maps. This isn't the largest map though, this is probably a medium-sized one, I'd say. The truly large ones are hell to go through though. Absolutely miserable. Nope, no instant special attack restores around here. This truly is a video game.
I won't lose.
That's now Tora down, and I believe we only have 9 left now. Which means we're in the single digits. Assuming I'm correct about that. Hopefully I didn't miscount. The double check to be sure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we only have 8. We have less than I thought left. Damn. Oh yeah. We're very close to being done. A very nice feeling to already be almost done with William in only a total of about 3 hours. Not even a full 3 hours, but very close to it. I really don't need to check my team before every single battle, but I don't know, it's kind of just muscle memory to do it at this point.
You get no quarter from me.
This is yet another example of a map that I actually think, in a vacuum, isn't poorly designed. It's actually a pretty interesting design. It's almost kind of, it leads you in kind of a circular shape. You start at the bottom right, and your progression, in order to progress to the bottom left or top left, you have to either make a circular shape, starting at the bottom right, going up towards the top right, then top left, then bottom left, or cutting through the middle. Either way, you're doing a slight circle. The thing is though, very interesting design on paper, and I think it would work really well in another game. But in this game, it's yet another map that unfortunately is more of a hindrance than actually interesting, just because of the fact that it takes forever to go through. And in a game with such fast-paced objectives, where in a matter of literal seconds, you can go from having just started the stage to one of your allies being in danger, it's more of just a pain in the ass than anything. It's not a bad stage design in a vacuum. It's actually very good. It's just, it doesn't feel like it was made for this game. If it was made for a different game, it would be great, but in this one, not so much. Die. 3, 4, 5. I think William may be one of the characters. I'm not sure if maybe I'm just noticing them now and just didn't with other characters or not, but it kind of feels like William is one of the characters with the most unique voice lines. And I could very well be wrong about that, but it feels like that's the case. And if it is, then it's an interesting choice. I guess it would make sense if there is a definite possibility that they just either took the voice lines from the game itself, or even if they didn't do that, they probably already had the voice actor on payroll. Because Nioh came out, I think, the same year as this game, so it likely wouldn't have taken much extra time or money to give him even more voice lines than everyone else. They wouldn't have had to get entirely new voice actors into the studio. Probably could have just used probably could have just brought him over from the actual game he's from. Who knows though? I could definitely be wrong about him having having more unique voice lines than most. He could just have the exact same amount, and I'm wrong. Very possible. But it is something that I kind of just noticed that he does have a lot of them, surprisingly. Three. I really don't have any reason to be going out of my way to pick up these experience and material drops, but I see little pickups on the ground and I have to grab them. Also, as you can see, Horo's hero skill is really good. Her hero skill and also her special attack when you're playing as her. And the reason why is because it has insane range. Just absolutely ridiculous range. It goes across like several entire rooms length. And I think she may be the only character that has quite that much range in her special attacks. Should hopefully give us a decent amount of progress. Okay, yeah. Brought Tokatsugu up to rank 4, Mitsunari up to 2. Horo is still at 2 as well, but not terrible. Oh, there's a quest to turn in. Nice. Very good.
It's a I'm just a
どうなさいますか
I
It was one for Arnis, who I already have max with Williams. I did kind of waste that, but...
あの
it's a small enough amount that it's not the end of the world. No, I need to visit the hot spring first. Ah. Ba, ba, ba.
You'll get no quarter from me.
あなたと一緒だと嬉しい。これだけは最初に伝えておくから。
Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting very good on the scissor resets.
Not bad.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Well done. I won't lose.
Probably won't get a ton of regard experience that go around since I didn't use my hero skills too much. Oh my fucking god, 25 cards. I hate that you can't just skip through these, it's so bad. And I especially hate that you can't just auto discard like rank B or rank C cards. You have to manually go through with this. Okay, we got a decent amount. Not a ton, but not nothing for sure.
No, at the moment.
Time to fish for a rush battle. Because I really want to do one of those right now. Don't care about your goal, cheeky. I don't care about team battle. I only want a fucking rush battle. Give me it, game. Fuck. Marie, I don't care about your gold. I just want to kill thousands. Okay, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Hopefully if we do this correctly, it should at least max out Toketsugu. It should maybe bring the other two up quite a ton as well. Ba. Not the most interesting stages in the world, but they are definitely the most efficient for regard grinding. And they're decently fun. Not super interesting, you're just killing thousands of enemies, but for this type of musou, that's really the most fun you're going to get, though. It's not too terrible. 5. See, can I take her out to give myself some extra time? And I am able to. Nice. Not a ton of extra time, but just enough to get a few more skills off. And for another one to spawn and get even more time. Yeah, this definitely isn't the most efficient rush battle I've ever done. It's pretty poorly in terms of getting as much time and as many hero skills off as possible, but could have been a lot worse, I suppose.
I never imagined I'd be against the warrior. I won't lose.
That should hopefully be enough to bring Toketsugu up to max. Maybe not. Okay, it did. Oh yeah, now we are down to 7 characters left. Making very fast progress. I think I will. I didn't expect to make this much progress this stream, but I think I will just keep going until I max out William. One stream. Very surprising considering how poor of a position he started, but we've made fast progress, so I guess I'll just keep going until then. I don't think it'll take too long.
You'll get no quarter from me.
またあなたと一緒そう生き延びたのね
I'm so glad that these time limit missions are so generous. Specifically these ones, since it's basically a fake time limit anyways, but it's very nice. Very helpful when I just sit here spamming the hero skill buttons over and over. I'm gonna miss William once I switch to the next character. He's fun to play, he requires a decent amount of skill, And most importantly, as much as I don't like fucking spamming individual single buttons over and over and over non-stop, it is undeniably extremely efficient for this process. He is probably going to end up being the fastest character for just maxing out regard individually. Obviously, I can't play as him if I wanna max out every other character's regard, but it is going to be a bit unfortunate. Gonna miss him. He's so fast to max everything out. Should not have grabbed that skull orb charge. I did not notice that I already had it. Failed for everyone. Three, 4, 5. It's so repetitive, but it works. It's repetitive, but it works too well to not do it. The special attack and hero skill spam is, while very, very dull, is unfortunately by far the most efficient way to complete this game if you're going for max regard like I am. Wonder how high that'll bring up everyone. Hopefully very. Okay, got brought up all the way to 3. Horo and Mitsunari didn't make a ton of progress, but not 0. Still made some. I am starting to be fairly confident in in my theory that the two-way regard system, like the like I have. Let me look at that. Like, so for Oka, she went up an entire rank and a half there. I don't think that would have happened quite to that efficiency if not for the fact that with Oka, I have, well, yeah, maxed out already. So I am fairly confident in the two-way, like, you do need to max them out individually, but getting it maxed with one character does seem to boost the rate at which the other character maxes out, which is very nice. I'm becoming very confident in that theory because Oka is progressing significantly faster than Horo or Mitsunari did at the same point in their growth. Still not 100% confirmed yet, but I've got enough evidence that I'm fairly confident in it, which means that the further we go on, the more characters we play, the faster this will go. Which is very, very nice. Hopefully by the end, the last few characters will only take an hour or 2 per character instead of the 3, probably close to 4 by the time we finish William, so... But the previous characters were taking around 6 hours each, so going from around 5 or 6 to 3 to 4 is already pretty good on its own. But hopefully it'll speed up even more if that theory is correct.
About time for an attack.
我が分とくと味わうがいい。 気心知れた仲間がいると心強いな。さあ、行くぞ。
A lot of special attack resets around here. Get a few extra hero skills off right before going for the enemy commander. You know what? Fuck it. I'll capture an extra side base before going directly there. Just because I can. Greedy with power. I never imagined I'd be a dynasty warrior. He doesn't even just say I never imagined I'd be a warrior. He says I never imagined I'd be a dynasty warrior. It's so fucking cheesy, it's dumb as hell. Kinda awesome though. But good cheesy. And that's 2 more to max, and Oka's at rank 4. Now I got Oda. You know, I'll go with Zhou next. Getting very, very close.
I've had my own.
Got another hot spring event, nice. Very good. Making good progress. Not just toward regard, but even toward the hero or friendship events and hot spring event. Making good progress towards pretty much everything. This has been one of the most high progress streams we've had so far. Been a very efficient one. We've gotten quite a lot out of the way. Almost all of William's grinding done already. Several friendship and hot spring events with him. We've even kind of figured out a few extra things about the intricacies of how exactly the regard system works. But yeah, we've done quite a lot so far this stream. Ba. So fast right now. Especially my attack speed. It's so fast that it's hard to even react to William's like timing windows. And that's what happens when you get multiple skill uses off of Zhou Kang's. It increases your movement and attack speed so much that you start going too fast to even react to required timing issues. Also, I probably shouldn't have went straight for the boss that time around, but you know, not the end of the world. Still made some surprisingly good progress towards Zhou Kang's. He went up 1 rank. Nothing too crazy, but better than I expected.
Get no quarter from me.
Yeah, Zhou Kang, his extra speed makes stages like this a lot easier. Any kind of timed stage or ally rescue stage is made significantly more tolerable if you have Zhou Kang with you as one of your support units. Because his speed up is so fucking huge that it is very, very helpful for just moving about the stage. Pa. Going at fucking lightning speed. Pa.
お前は俺が認める勇者だ。頼りにしてるぜ。こっから攻めまくるぜ。
Pa, 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 pa.
皆さんお待たせしました。私たちっていいか見合わせじゃない？あなたもそう思っててくれたら嬉しいな。
2, 3, 4, 5. Bum, 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 bum. I still have nearly two full minutes left, and I'm about to take out the last of the 3. And I haven't even been going, well, I've been moving fast thanks to Zhou, but I haven't even been going toward the objective that thoroughly. I have taken a lot of stops for taking out the for using hero skills and special attacks. Been doing that a ton, and that wastes a lot of time. And despite that, I have still been able to take this last area out with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And it's all thanks to Zhou. He is that fucking crazy overpowered. It is so fucking good. I think if I were to rank all of the support characters in this game, most likely Oka would be at the very top. Zhou would be probably tied, or at least in second. Honoka would probably be third. The only reason I'd say she's third and not number 1 is because she really is only the most useful when you're in my very specific use case. Zhou and Oka are both useful in any situation though. And past that point, not entirely sure. But those 3 are just so good at what, like, the skills that they have, what they give is just so incredibly amazing that it's just too good to not consider them all incredible. You know, I've said it a million times, movement is so important in this game with these ridiculously large maps. And Zhou gives you a lot of that. Oka just straight up gives you full invincibility for about 20 seconds. And then Honoka can do several effects, the main one for me being the hero skill reset, but even ignoring that, she can reset your special attack or give you a full heal. So in this game as a whole, a lot of the hero skills are just completely broken. I would say those 3 are probably the most standout, so having all 3 of them on my team at once is pretty fun. Pretty fun to go around the stage dealing with everything instantly because of it. Speeding through the stage, not ever taking a single piece of damage or any kind of interruption, and getting constant hero skill uses, so they all pretty much have non-stop uptime.
I won't lose.
Oak is at max now, both Zhou and Nobunaga are at rank 3. Let's see, how many do we have left?
Okay.
Not very many, I know that, but let's see. Yeah, we have Darius, Yukimura, and I believe that's actually it. Let me double check really quickly, but Darius, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we only have 4 left. And the only one with rank 1 is Darius. The others are both at rank 3, or all 3 at rank 3. And then there's these 4 at the bottom, but these I'll save for the very end, because they don't have friendship or hot spring events, so they're kind of a separate case. Not really worrying about them right now.
おいそういいどうなさいますか
I most likely will not finish this quest before he reaches max regard, but you know, just in case.
Just hang on a little longer.
Just realized it's kind of funny that that Zhou Kang refers to the Yellow Turban rebellion as the Yellow Turbans, because I could be wrong, but I feel like they probably, I don't know if they referred to themselves as Yellow Turbans. I always assumed that was like a name that was given by by those that defeated them. I don't know if they referred to themselves as the Yellow Turbans. So it is very funny that Zhou Kang refers to them, because as far as I'm aware, to my knowledge, I'm not that knowledgeable on Zhou Kang's specific role in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, but to my understanding, he himself was a Yellow Turban, like during the rebellion. So very interesting that he himself refers to his group of people as Yellow Turbans, when I doubt that was what they called themselves, but I'm no historical expert. I could very well be wrong on that. Well, I need to run quickly to them, but it doesn't matter because I'm so fast with Zhou Kang that I can reach them near instantly. So the only thing that makes these types of stages as tolerable as they are right now, King is actually my fucking savior at this moment. In these stages, fucking not having him is absolute hell. Completely hellish to go through these without any kind of extra movement capabilities. And I'm getting off a ton of hero skill resets while I'm at it, so... Even at a relatively normal speed, when only having like 1 or 2 of his skill uptimes active at once, he's still just so fast. King really is just ridiculous in this game. An absolute godsend. We got that stage done very quickly while also getting a ton of hero skill uses, so hopefully a lot of progress will be made. And there was. Theories got brought all the way up to 3, both King and Oda are both at 4 now. Very, very nice. How well you do on a stage, like the ranks you get at the end, may also potentially have an effect on how much regard you receive afterwards. I'm not 100% certain about that, but I kind of just get a bit of a feeling, because I do feel like in cases where I get like a C rank on some of them, I get less regard, but that could very well be wrong and probably is. Kind of just a bit of a feeling. A hunch, perhaps.
Don't even dream of breaking through. I'll protect this place in my life.
君がいれば何も恐れることはないさあ行こう
I feel like the captions are even less accurate today than usual, so not sure if it's just coincidence or... I hope my mic does not sound odd or anything today. I didn't change any kind of settings as far as I'm aware, but nothing should be different, but... I mean, it's always pretty inaccurate to be fair, but it feels extra inaccurate today, so I hope it's not like it just can't understand what I'm saying very well, because that would mean the viewers can't either, and well, that wouldn't be very great, especially for later footage from this. Although if I end up using this footage later on, like my website or something, I'll probably cut out the voice part of it anyways, so I guess that's not the end of the world, but still prefer if it was audible and well understandable.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's not rank based because I did still get quite a bit there despite going by pretty quickly, but who knows? Guess I'll figure it out eventually, I suppose. Oh shit, Snowmoon Yaga and his ducky. His little rubber ducky. Okay, it's one of the smaller stages. Very good. Especially having Joe King, these smaller stages are even better to go through than usual. These aren't too bad even normally since they're so compact. These are what all of the stages in this game should be like, I feel, considering how simple this game as a whole is, but this is probably one of my preferred ones based exclusively on that fact. Stage itself is whatever, but it being so small is what really makes me enjoy it. And combined with Joe King's not sure how to pronounce it. You know, I'll read it next time it shows up, then say it out loud, but it's Joe King's Hero Skill, whatever it's called, however it's pronounced. Way to low stride. Probably still fuck that up, but at least an attempt. But combined with his hero skill, these smaller stages are even better to go through, and they're already not too bad. How fucking fast I am, it's insane. Absolutely ridiculous speed. This stage also probably has one of my favorite music tracks in the game. I know this is from Atelier Sophie, but I did play a bit of that game at the end of last year, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the game as a whole, but I did really like the soundtrack, so that being carried over here is definitely not something I would complain about, that's for sure. Two, three, four. Three, four, five. That should bring them up quite a lot, hopefully. Not sure if it'll bring them quite up to... Okay, it brought Nobunaga up to rank 5, and that's all I really need. The other two are at rank 4, and now just have Yuki Murasada. Absolutely ridiculous how much progress we've made in such a short time. Definitely gotten a lot better at min-maxing how I use my hero skills and special attacks and stuff. Gotten much better than I was before. I guess that kind of is just inevitable though when you play a game non-stop for 2.5 months, I feel like, at this point. It's been a bit. Probably close to 2.5 months at the very least.
つも通りの働きをせよ。
It's just non-stop. But in these types of stages especially, it's really is best to just go all in on hero skill and special attack uses. On the allied missions, it's ally rescue missions, a bit. You do have to focus a bit more on the actual objectives, but on these ones, nope, you can just do whatever you want until you're ready to go for the main objective. And what I want to do is get as many hero skill uses off as possible. Joking makes everyone so fucking fast. It's crazy. I'll never get over how ridiculous it looks. But it's definitely useful. Looks dumb as hell, but is definitely very, very useful. Should hopefully be enough to bring at least one character up to max. Okay, yeah. Jokang's up to max, Yukimura's rank 4, and Darius is fucking 1 pixel away. He's basically maxed out.
Okay.
I could swap out Jokang for one of the 4 unimportant characters to get them a bit higher anyways, but I don't want to swap him out, he's too good. He's too fun to have on my team. I refuse to remove him until absolutely necessary. I think I've gotten this exact event like 5 times this stream. The one with Honoka in the hot spring, saying that loincloth fits you so well. Done it so many times. Yet another stage that I don't absolutely despise. Still decently large, but I feel like it's designed in such a way where it's not too terrible to get to. At least except for the right area, which is where the final captain is, but And also, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think this stage can have ally rescue missions. And if so, if I'm correct about that, that's the real reason why I like it more than most. I do not like the ally rescue missions. They are not very fun. I keep getting turned around every time you use a hero skill or a special attack. If you get the full locked camera animation, there's always a chance that it's going to turn you around, and I hate that. It's my biggest issue with how I've been handling this so far. Cause fucking I keep accidentally getting turned around, not realizing it until a few seconds in. And it's especially bad when you have Zhokang's buff up, because that means not only are you going in the wrong direction, you're going like half the fucking map within 2 seconds. In the exact opposite direction of what you want.
Well done.
2, 3, 4, 5. Bum, bum. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well done.
Yeah. Ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. I'd like to get that orb before it despawns, but if I keep getting scissors, then okay, good. Just barely got in time. I feel like had I waited like 2 more seconds, it probably would have despawned.
Never imagined I'd be a dynasty warrior.
Never imagined I'd be a dynasty warrior. He's so fucking British. The most British man in the world.
Well done.
Getting a lot of reset this stage, so that's nice. The more I get, the better. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bum, 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 bum. Did Yukimura Sanada? I was talking about earlier what the like best 4 characters to bring as support units are. And I said that it's probably Oka, Kang, and Honoka at the top 3. I'd probably put Yukimura Sanada at number 4, just because of the fact that the fire attribute that he adds to your weapon makes it so that you can take on like way higher bravery rank units than you should be able to. Like, you can take out Golden Captain so easily with him, even if you're at like bravery rank 2. Like, I think in a previous stream I literally did at one point take out a rank 10 Golden Captain while I was still at bravery rank 2, which is not supposed to be a thing that you can do, at least not easily. And it went down pretty simply just because of the fact that fire in this game is a percentage based damage. It's a DOT that does percentage based damage, so it doesn't matter what bravery rank you are, it will do the same damage no matter what, and that damage can be pretty significant. Literally a fucking pixel away from maxing out Yukimura.
Okay.
Wow. In that case, I guess I'll set it up for the next character that I'll max out. Which, by the way, I believe the next character I believe will be Sophie that we do. So I guess I'll set things up for her. I guess I'll add Grinna. This is not for William, this is for the next character. Just to kind of have it there, that way I don't forget later to swap them out. Which I doubt I will, but you know, might as well.
Don't be. I only. Even if Nioh.
Final stage of the stream, and then I guess I'll just do this one. All I need is just a single pixel of health, so not like it'll take a ton. I'll just go ahead and put on Oka. Actually, I'll do Naotora. Same basic effect. Effective immortality, so might as well. You know what, since this is such a small stage, I'll swap him out for my Yuanji.
Here we go.
Why do they spawn them all the way up there when I spawn down here?
俺に勝てると思ってんのか。笑わせるぜ。
Of course they spawn them all the way down there. Hi. Hey you of course spawn all the way up there yet again. Very fun. Very easy, very simple if you put either Naotara or Oka on your team, especially if you also bring along Honoka, since she can reset them. But yeah, now we have everyone that actually matters is now maxed with William. The only ones that aren't are these four, but they're not real. And that took in total, including the stream time and the time that I spent on this pre-stream, he had basically everyone at rank 1. I believe there was one character who was at rank 5. That was Ryu Hayabusa, he was at rank 5. And I think there was one other character here, I think it was INA, who was at rank 30. Every single other character was still at rank 1. In about 4 hours, we got everyone from rank 1 to 5. This is without a doubt the fastest we have gone so far. William himself, because of his skill, his special attack, he is definitely the fastest character individually to max out regard from scratch. However, even not accounting for that, just my general playstyle was more like efficient and focused on min-maxing this stream than it has been in previous ones. So even without William's like double hitting skill effects, even with everyone else, I do feel like it should still go by a lot faster than it was previously. Maybe instead of 4 hours it would take 5, but that's still a lowering from the prior 6 hours that it took on average for every other character. So we are definitely improving our speed at completing this, which is nice. It's very good, since that does mean that we'll get done with the game as a whole much faster that way. But yeah, that is all for today. I am still going to do a tiny bit off stream. Not exactly grinding, but stuff in-game that just like recording footage for little clips and stuff for the website, but that is the end of the stream though. It was a very good one though. Very fun stream. Probably the most fun Warriors All-Stars stream we've done so far, and it's mostly just down to how fast progress was. It was very satisfying to see it get done. But yeah. Tomorrow I probably won't stream. Friday though, I will most likely either stream more Warriors All-Stars, or maybe I may stream another Castlevania game, who knows. But either way, I will most likely stream Friday again. Yeah, today was a very fun stream. We made insane progress. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye.